boys, welcome back. This is our next lesson. So we're just doing some more examples on time today. So same thing, you've just got to watch the video, listen to the explanations and copy everything in your workbook. So we were doing a few of these last lesson, we're just doing a few more practice ones. So we're looking at what time will it be in 3 hours and 19 minutes after 10:49 p.m. So we write down the 10:49 p.m. Then time after, that means we have to add time on. So the after means we're going to plus. So we're going to plus all of this time but in pieces. We're going to just do it bit by bit. So first we're going to add on 3 hours. So if we go from 10 p.m, 3 hours later it will be 11, 12, 1, right? So it's going to be 1 a.m. in the morning. So we add the 3 hours on, we're going to have 1 a.m. and that just stays the 49. Now we're going to try and add on the 19 minutes. Now it's tricky. This is not very easily done, okay? And you're going to have to do it in bits and pieces, but the other classes will struggle with this too. So we're going to add on 11 minutes first, because I think if I add 11 minutes, that's going to take me, see how the 49 plus 11, use your calculator and check it, it adds up to 60 minutes. So if we add 11, that'll get us to 2:00 a.m. So you think, okay, we've added 11 minutes, we need to add 8 more minutes on to get our whole 19 minutes. So we're going to add the 8 minutes on now to the minutes, and we end up with 2:08 a.m. Now I know some of you boys are going to struggle with some of these questions, so don't panic if you're struggling, just copy it down, okay? If you understand bits of it, that's better than I can expect anyway, okay? So just write it all down in your book and try and understand pieces of it if you can. It's better than nothing, and it's actually a hard topic to do. Alright, now looking at the next one, we want to know what the time is going to be 9 hours after 5:14 p.m. So instead of adding the 9 hours on all in one go, I'm going to add 7 hours on to start with, and that will get me, if I add 5 plus 7, that will give me the 12:14 a.m. because I'm going to be clocking over in the 24-hour time to the a.m.s. So because I've only added 7 hours there, I still have 2 more hours I should be adding on. So I'm going to add those 2 hours now, and that will get me now to 2:14 a.m. and that's your answer. So in the next one, it's a bit trickier because they've got 2 1/4 hours that we're adding on to 4:02 a.m. So we're going to add 2 hours first, and that will get us to 6:02 a.m. And then we're going to add the 1/4 of an hour on over here. Now, a 1/4 of an hour is the same as 15 minutes. If you don't know that, don't worry too much about it at the moment. But if you do know it, great. Okay, so adding a 1/4 of an hour is the same as adding 15 minutes because it's a 1/4 of 60 minutes. Alright, that's 15 minutes. So if we add 15 minutes onto here, we get 6:17 a.m. and that's our answer. Alright, now if we're looking at times before, so if you see the word before, we are subtracting time. Alright, we want to know what was the time before, you've got to take time off. So we're going to start at 6:15 p.m. We're going to take 4 hours off the hours section, and that'll give us 2:15 p.m. So I think everybody in this class should be able to do a question like that one. Okay, just so you know where you should be at. That's definitely something I want you to understand. This one's a bit trickier though, so this will there might be only like 1 or 2 people in the class that might understand this. If you're one of the 1 or 2, that's great. If you don't understand it, just copy it down, boys. Alright, so we're going to start at 3:20 p.m. and this time we're doing 45 minutes before that. So we're going to take off the 45 minutes. But if we try to do it all in one go, we're going to get the wrong answer. So I think that with 3:20 p.m. I could take off 20 minutes and get myself to 3 p.m. with the zeros there. Now because I only took off 20 minutes, I've still got more time I need to take off. So there's 25 more minutes I need to take off. So 3 p.m. take away 25 minutes will get me to 2:35 p.m. Now some of you are going to struggle with that, but just do your best. But this bit here, when you've got the 0, 0, the easiest thing to look at is pretend that's a 60, and if you take off 25, you can use your calculator. That gives you the bit that says 35 at the end there, just so you understand it a little bit better maybe. All right, the next one, we're looking at 3 hours, 30 minutes before 11:20 a.m. So we're going to do it in parts. We're subtracting time because we're looking at before. So start at 11:20 a.m. We're going to take off 3 hours first, off the hours section here, and that'll get us to 8. So we're now at 8:20 a.m. and we still have 30 minutes to take off, but I'm not going to take them all off in one go. I'm going to take off the 20 minutes because I know that'll get me to 0 here. If I take off 20 minutes, that will get me to 8:00 a.m. And now I've still got 10 minutes I need to take off out of the 30 minutes. Okay, so this we took off in 2 parts. So if we take the 10 minutes off 8 a.m, we will get 7:50 a.m. Now the reason you've got to be good at time, or at least a little bit good at it, is because you're going to be using time all your life. So you have to have a bit of an understanding on how it works. So plenty of people book flights and then miss their flights because they just don't know how time works. They miss their flight, and then got to book another flight. They might end up getting to where they wanted to go late. That might impact other things they're going to. So it's pretty important we understand it a little bit. So talk to mum and dad about it at home, about different things to do with time, how long TV programs go for, how long do I have to wait for the next show to come on or whatever. All right, all of that helps. So just looking at one word problem we have here, we have a plane leaves Perth at 0900, 0900. It's 24-hour time. And it arrives in Sydney at 13:45. Now they've written down Perth time here. That's because some of your parents might go, oh, well, there is actually a time difference between us and Perth. We're not looking at that, okay? So we're going to pretend we're all on the same time zone. All we want to know is how long that journey took. How long did the journey take? All right, so we're pretending we're all on Perth time for this question. So it leaves at 0900 and it arrives at 13:45. So you have to remember that these 2 digits at the beginning are your hours. So we want to look at the 09 and the 13 and see what did we add on there. Well, we added on 4 hours there. So that's part of our answer. The other part comes from over here, our minutes. So we went from 00 to 45. We must have added on 45 minutes there. So it's 4 hours and 45 minutes. That's how long it takes to fly in a plane from Perth to Sydney. And we'll do some more examples on this in the next video for today's lesson.